Hi, if you're watching this video, you're probably part of either Ms. Adams' PBL course or Mrs. Bollinger's PBL course. Either way, this is an introduction into Google Sites, which is a viable option for you to use to create your ePortfolio. So, I started off by clicking on these top 9 buttons, these Google app buttons, and just simply going down to Sites, and that brought me here. And then after that, I can hit Create, and I recommend doing it in new sites because it's a bit more intuitive and easy for you to use. Once you're here, you can create a website, essentially. So let's say that I want this site to be all about my senior portfolio. So this would be my homepage then, in which I can probably talk about myself. And in order to do that, I can either do a text box, I can just put in a picture of myself in which I would upload it, or I would select it from Google Drive, or I could do something like this and choose a layout in which I have something already made for me that is within the style of the website itself. Just as a note, if you feel like you want to change the style of your website, you can very easily click on themes over here. And, well, I like something that makes an impression. So this is probably what I would use. Okay? And I like green a little bit better than red. So I'll go ahead and personalize it like that. And let's say I want to change my font style to, well, something with a serif. Yes? So after that, I played around with my theme. Let's say that I want to start documenting the projects that I have made, the ones that I'm especially proud of, and the ones that I want to show to the world. In order to do that, I would create a separate page for each project. So if you come over here to Pages, then you'll be able to hit plus and you'll hit New Page. And let's say that for my first project, I created a children's book. Yes? And then I would hit Done. And now I can adjust this page as needed. So over here, you're editing the entire site, whereas over here, you are editing on a page level. That's a very important distinction to make. I want you to make sure that you're on the right page when you're doing your editing. And I know that a children's book, I probably want to start off with a lot of pictures of what I did. And then I want to go ahead and add in a text box, and I'll add in a description of what I wrote. It's a very technical and complete description. And let's say I want to go ahead and put in a video of me reading this book to students. And I've shot this video beforehand, and I've uploaded it to YouTube. So I'll just go ahead and upload from YouTube. Whatever the title of my file is, that's what I would use. That's one of my projects. We have many more projects coming. But let's say that you do something that you're very proud of, and you make it on a different site. So let's say that you start an entire brand, and part of that is your Twitter to your brand, yes? And that's not something that I would necessarily embed within the site. That's not something I would necessarily give a page. So let's say that I can just upload a link instead. Brand Twitter, and then I would put in the Twitter address or whatever you have, okay? Now, let's say that I actually think that this should go first. I can very easily move it. It's just a drag and drop sort of operation, like so many things are on Google. I should also probably name my site. And here I would name it something like _senior portfolio. Yeah? And then that would be the name of the site when I eventually publish it. One really important thing to note is that you can preview your site at any time. So by doing this, this is what your site would look like in real time. And let's say, well, obviously I haven't added any pictures, but let's say I want to see what it would look like if it were viewed from a phone. Well, this is how my layout would be on a phone. And then if I notice that there's a big problem with how it looks on the phone as compared to how it would look on a large screen, then I would be able to go back in and fix that. And I can very easily hit X, and that would let me exit the preview. Once you're pretty satisfied with how your site is set up, what I would recommend is hitting Publish. And as you publish, then it becomes live for the entire world. However, you can always go back in and edit it. So I would say publish this once you're finished with your first project and you have your site up and going. And then you can continue to update the site as the school year goes on. So, again, this is just one option for incorporating Google into your senior portfolio. I think that I would recommend its use based on how easy it is, and how much stuff you can actually incorporate. So let's say that you do a lot of science and you collect some data from some experiments for your senior project. And then you can include different, whatever your results are for your charts. Now, obviously, these are all stuff like grades and all that stuff on my end. On your end, it would be data results, or let's say that you write a short story and you can just upload it from Google Docs. Okay? So, with that being said, I wish you the best of luck on your ePortfolio, and I can't wait to see what you make.